For our next art project, wait. This is one that I suggest maybe starting with first because a lot of the materials that you're gonna need for this one, you're gonna be using for other projects as well. In your bag, you should, besides getting the little brown bag with your art materials, you're gonna find one piece of really nice watercolor paper and a piece of black construction paper. These are also for this project. So I'm going to take this black construction paper and I'm going to put it to the side for now, just so that it doesn't get messy. That's going to be the very last step. So, Mackenzie, are you ready?
Yeah.
Come on up here. Show us, what do we have in our bag for this next project?
Okay, I'm good.
Okay. And you're going to also want to start with this one because the first step, you need to dry after a little bit. So, oh, you have your own set of watercolors. Yay! Oh, it is glue, but I'm glad you said that. This is a very special kind of glue. Oh, and a little cup for some water. Do you want to go get some water real quick for this, Kenz?
Why?
In the bathroom, because we're going to paint. So this glue is called Black Glue. Now I made this special glue for you. Use our smaller little bottle so that they'll be so cute to keep forever. Black glue is just a mixture of regular glue and then either black ink or black acrylic paint. In yours, I was able to put a little bit of acrylic paint inside and then I shook it up. Now on your watercolor paper, the first step is going to be just to use your glue to make any kind of abstract little doodle, whatever you want. Because once this glue dries, then you're going to use your watercolor paints to fill in each of the spaces. All right? So if you can see this, my glue is closed. Can you see this? I know it's closed because the orange cap is touching the white bottom. If I twist only the orange, now you can see there's an opening between the orange cap and the white bottom. So that means my glue's open. So what you're going to do now is take your glue bottle very carefully because this won't erase. And you're just going to, look at that, cool. You're just going to make some doodles. Now if you accidentally make a mistake, who cares? No one's going to know. That's what's the great thing about art, is you can turn any mistake into a happy new design. So maybe right there, maybe I'll keep that going. And ooh, I'm just going to fill up my whole paper with some random lines. Here, I don't really like how this is so thin. So I'm just going to go back on top of it and just make a thicker line with my glue. If you accidentally hold your glue too much in one space, what's going to happen? Uh-oh. Again, that's all right, but now this is just going to take longer to dry. Oh, fantastic. Mackenzie's got our water. So right now, Mackenzie, what do you think of my little black glue doodle? Do you like it?
Yeah.
Awesome. So Mackenzie, we're going to be really patient right now, and we're going to put this to the side while we wait for our glue to dry, and then we get to use our watercolors. That's right.
I'll do it now.
Okay, so why don't you go ahead and try this part now, press pause, and then once your glue dries, come on back for the paint. Wow, look at our black glue, it dried. How cool is that? It took a little bit of time to dry, so we had to wait like a day. But now we are ready to use our watercolors. So while Mackenzie figures out which way we want our watercolor painting to go, I'm going to show you a few really quick watercolor techniques.
I want to start here.
Okay, you start there, but first let me teach you a little bit about watercolors. The first thing is you want to make sure to wake up your watercolors. Watercolors love water. So you do this thing called milk the cow, get your brush wet, and you squeeze a little bit over each color just to activate the watercolors. They're sleepy. We want to keep them going. For this one, I'm going to only use the colors of the rainbow to keep it bright. I don't really want to use black since we have black glue. You could use brown if you'd like to. That's totally fine. So Mackenzie, can I teach you 2 ways of doing watercolor and then you can fill in the rest?
Yeah.
All right, thanks, babe. So you guys, you can paint this any way that you want. I'm going to teach you 2 really cool watercolor techniques, all right? The first one is called...
purple.
That is purple. It's called wet on dry. Can you say that?
What? That's right.
Wet on dry. All right, so that means wet paint on dry paper. So Mackenzie, what color should I use first for our example?
Green.
Green. And what space should I color green?
Over right there.
Very thoughtful. Okay, so if you want to come closer, I'll show you what it looks like when I paint wet paint on dry paper. Beautiful colors. I like to always outline my space first and then have fun filling it in, but not too much fun. You don't want to have so much fun that all of a sudden I'm not paying attention. I go and I get the green everywhere. I'm really going to try hard to just keep this green in that one space. So this is how most artists paint. It's called wet on dry.
What? That's right.
That's right. I'm going to show you one more thing and then it's Mackenzie's turn, okay? So first, before we go to our next color, I need to clean off my brush. So I mix it up.
That's my favorite color.
Okay, mixing up like I'm mixing a witch's brew. But again, don't splash too hard because you don't want to get water all over your workspace or your painting.
Here.
So which one next? How about, can I do a darker one just to show our friends? Maybe the red or the purple?
I think it's a red.
The red. Okay, and Mackenzie, what is a big space? Maybe this one that I could show our friends?
I think this place.
I love it. This one. Okay, so if you want to come closer, the last one that I'm going to show you before it's Mackenzie's turn is called wet on wet. Can you say that?
What the wet?
Right. So if wet on dry meant wet paint on dry paper, wet on wet means wet paint on wet paper. So you have to do this one really fast. Are you ready? Watch. So first I'm going to take just my water. And my water it looks a little bit greenish just because I just used that. That's fine. It's not going to mess it up. So first I'm going to go along my edges and I'm filling it in just with water. I'm getting this space only wet. Now once I've gone along the entire area, I'm going to go one more time. Get one more level of water so it's really, really wet. And now watch this. Ready? Now I'm going to go in my wet red and watch this. It's like magic. Ready? Cool, right? Do you see how it just kind of explodes like that? And you can keep going. You could leave it like that. You can go along your edges. It's going to kind of keep going into itself. Isn't that really cool? It's like a little firework explosion of paint. So you could fill this in. And now, if you notice, guys, this wet on wet looks much more soft than wet on dry. So why don't you go ahead right now, have fun painting each space a different color, and then maybe choose one color for your background at the end. And Mackenzie's going to start painting now, and then we're going to fast forward. You've been so patient. And then we're going to fast forward the two of us painting together, and you can catch us up at the end. So why don't you watch Mackenzie for one quick minute. Which one are you going to do? Blue? Okay, and fill in your space. Get some water. All right, why don't you guys watch us and fast forward, and we'll catch you at the end once you finish painting your entire watercolor.
What's this?
Mackenzie had so much fun. She's doing a second painting. Really cool. So while she does that, my first one that I hope you enjoyed watching us paint it, it's dry, so I'm ready for the final step. The final step is to glue your watercolor painting to your black frame. See how nice that looks? It looks like the black frame really kind of pops out my black glue. Now if you notice, my paper is a little bit uneven. When paper gets wet, it tends to curl. And even though this is really fancy, expensive watercolor paper, it still will curl a little bit. But I have a trick for you, okay? So what I'd like you to do, my loves, is the very final step is to glue your watercolor painting to your black frame. So you're going to turn your watercolor painting over and use your glue. And then I like to just do maybe like a little square here. Notice I'm not going really close to the edges because sometimes if you do too much glue close to the edges, it can kind of explode out. So I like to make smaller rectangles when I have thicker paper, and then I like to do something silly called X marks the spot. That just makes it a little bit stronger. Then I'm going to take this and very carefully, I'm going to turn it and center it. All right, I'm trying to make an even black space all around my picture. And when I press this down, it actually is staying pretty good. If this kind of bothers you though, and you're like, oh, those corners are still up or something, my suggestion would be, once you kind of rub it like this for a minute or so, then if you want it to dry, I would turn it upside down on a clean space. And then you could just kind of, you could stay there, but you could just put like a book on it or something. This is one of my favorite Matisse books. This is a good book if you never read it. And put this one on top of it, okay? So that's our watercolor painting. What do you think? Do you love watercolor? Yeah. And we really hope that you guys find a cool place. And oh, the very final thing, you need to figure out how do you want your art displayed. This is abstract, so it could go like this, or like this, or like this, or like this. It looks very different any way you hold it. So we can't wait to see what your final watercolor with black glue creation looks like. Please make sure to share it with us. We miss you guys and we hope you have a lot of fun creating. Bye. Can you say bye, Ken? Say bye to our friends.
Bye-bye.